Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 44 of Some Random. I am your host, Sriracha Flash, and with me today, the wonderful, the beautiful, the magnificent looking. Look at that beautiful picture by Vexany up there. Wireman. What's going on, Wireman? How are you?
Oh man, that's the nicest intro. Thank you very much.
Well, all right. So I tell this to everybody, but it's true. I like to get the guests gassed up, so you feel good about yourself going into the interview. I don't want any self-doubt. That's
it, man. It's midnight here, but it feels like it's like 8 a.m. now.
Oh, see, there we go. That's I'm your cup of tea in the morning to get you going. That's what we're trying to do over here. But yeah, I know it's late. I appreciate you coming on the show. 7 o'clock my time, which works good for me, and midnight your time, which I'm sure doesn't work well for you. But I appreciate you making the time.
No worries, man.
But look, let's get it out of the way. Let's start up quick. Wireman, why don't you tell the people, who the hell are you?
So, I'm Wireman. I play for Team Reason in the UK, one of the oldest running esports teams in the United Kingdom and Europe. And I also, I think I'm better known for just making really long, either ranty threads or really long positive threads, the ones that I throw out every Wednesday. And I've also been doing a decent bit of writing recently for the Players Lobby as well, so covering the FGC over there. They're very keen on getting more of that stuff out there, so I've been doing lots of editorials and interviews with players over there as well.
Oh, really? I didn't know that about you. I didn't realize that you were writing for the Players Lobby.
Oh, did you not? No, I've done some good ones, man. If I say so myself.
No, please, go ahead and fill yourself.
I've had Kami on there, Bolt Strike. I've got another one going up possibly tomorrow. It's coming up in the next couple of days. But yeah, they're quite esports centric normally. They were looking for people in the FGC, mainly people that were actually already connected to players, so not esports people moving over to the FGC. They wanted someone in the FGC to talk to players, basically. And they've been really, really successful. Like the esports people over there are keen to see more from the FGC, which is really nice to hear.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, holy shit. Look, I'm learning shit already, immediately, from the top. Learning brand new things about our guy, Wireman. Fuck. Well, all right. Can I dive into that for a little bit, because this is news for me.
Please, yeah.
Sorry. So, what's the best article you've written? If I was gonna go dive into an article right now, what's the one that you would send me?
So the first one that I put out is one of the ones that I'm the proudest of at the moment, which was actually with Cuddlecore. They're quite a unique format, so it might be that you don't know that I did it, because I kind of do the ghostwriting for it. So if they're written from the perspective of the player, it is the player's words 100%. It's just that I'll interview them and then we turn that into a piece. So Cuddlecore did one called Dealing with Self-Doubt, and we worked together for maybe a month and a half on actually getting the language right in that one and just getting the messaging right, because obviously she's dealt with quite a lot of stuff as a pro player in the FGC. So we wanted to make sure that worked really well, and yeah, I've been really proud of that one. It's done really well as well.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to get the link to that from you before, like, after the show, so I can throw it in the show notes.
Nice one. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I would love to send that people your way for that. That's awesome, man. No, yeah, that's why I do this fucking show, so I can learn more about people. And so, for people that didn't know, if people only knew you from the Positivity Jam threads, then now they know more.
Yeah, I mean, I dropped out of journalism years ago, so I actually used to do esports journalism. I used to do some FGC stuff as well for a site that no longer exists. Like 2010 through to like 2014, 2015 maybe. I wrote for Hadoken.net, which wasn't really like a competitor to Shoryuken.com or anything like that. It was just like a smaller, like, fan-based site. And an MMO site called MMO Play that were actually owned by AOL. And we covered lots of MMO stuff and esports stuff over there. I dropped out after a few years because it's hard work, that. But yeah, there's definitely a need for more FGC content at the moment, and that came up, so I've jumped into it again, basically.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I'm super happy that I asked you about it, because now I know. No, that's excellent. Wow, yeah, fuck. My mind is already blown. I'm already like, fuck me. So, well, let's jump back into the thing that people would know you for more generally, or at least the thing that's got a bunch of steam lately. So the Positivity Jam. They're always really good threads. They highlight a bunch of cool stuff. I know Body Novel is usually your curator for sending you stuff. That dude's always fucking active. I think if anyone needed anything, like, to find something on the internet. You could be like, "Bodied, I need this," and you'd be like, "I'll find 30 resources. Don't worry." And he comes running.
That's some serious research. I definitely should have gave him a Christmas bonus. It was never an official arrangement, but it's been really helpful. He's not the only one as well. A lot of people do tag me in things that they see that are really good. So it's actually been really good for me as well. So like I was trying to put more positive things onto other people's timelines, and now people are tagging me in positive things. So that's been really cool. So I'm always, every time I get a notification, it's someone actually trying to share something nice with me. So it's worked both ways. Like.
Yeah, no, that's super, super cool. So how did the positivity jam start?
I actually nearly wrote a thread about this. I can't remember why I deleted it. Actually, I do a lot. Like for all the threads you see, I probably write 4 or 5 more and delete them, or they just sit in my drafts forever. But it came out of a not very positive place. I was kind of done. This is like April last year. I don't know if you remember, again, when I made this thread, I curated loads of pictures of what was currently going on most of the common esports and FGC sites regarding the FGC. And at the time, it was just, we hit a new level of just kind of clickbait and really just uninteresting articles and uninteresting topics. So it was that, like, all of a sudden, the main kind of pieces that were on main sites were either really negative, only negative, or it was that there was like, oh, Justin's made a new tier list, and that was like a headline thing, and it was like, why is this the stuff we're talking about? There's so much good stuff out there.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah, there's always so much more that no one realizes is out there.
Yeah, and if you look back into the history of it, when you look at like Kotaku, who have some great writers and have some great representation in the FGC even, but even when you look at the way Kotaku's responded in the past when people have said like, you only cover the negative aspects and things, they've always kind of put it back on the FGC and went, well, you never told us. And there's a good few editorials on their site, some of them even written by the editor-in-chief, which shows it really bothers him as well, is the fact that we don't kind of, we meme on them for not covering the positive stuff. And they go, well, you tell us when there's positive stuff and we'll cover it. And I gave them the benefit of the doubt of that and a bunch of other sites. And I thought, okay, so I'll make a change. I'll write some positive articles. And I wrote a bunch of stuff and I offered it out to a lot of places for free. I did lots of interviews and things like that. And I tried to get that stuff just out onto other sites. And again, it was not for my own gain or anything like that. I don't, I've got a good job. I don't need to worry about what I do in journalism or anything like that.
Right.
And people weren't taking this stuff. So they weren't taking sources. They weren't taking articles. I did a massive sort of 8-page feature on the what was it? The charity event that was last year, the Goodwill thing. I did a massive piece on that. Offered that out to a bunch of places for free and all the rest of it, and nobody took it. It ended up going on the Reason Gaming website just as a blog piece in the end. And I thought, well, clearly they don't want this stuff. They're saying that they do. They want the stuff that gets clicks and all the rest of it. So I thought, well, how else can I make a change? How can I affect it? And I thought, well, something that I do have control over that's a bit better, but a bit simpler than that is just the timeline. So I thought I'll just start promoting what's positive that I see, because I see it. And then hopefully more people will see it as well. And we're at a point now with that. It's, I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have a massive kind of... it doesn't have a huge response, but it is getting bigger and bigger every week when I'm putting it up. And I've got the metrics to show that, which is really cool. So people want to see it. And this is proof, empirical evidence that people want to see the positive stuff about the FGC, not just the negative. So that's one of my main missions, really, is to show that it exists and people want it.
I mean, you've done a hell of a job doing that, because it was first brought to my attention because you and I have been following each other, but for whatever reason, I wasn't seeing your tweets. I think Twitter is just awful with shit getting lost in the weeds. But Reddit SF had retweeted one of your threads, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And also, I've been highlighted there. I'm just going to throw that out. So, like, nepotism, but not nepotism. Y'all fuck off. So yeah, it was brought to my attention that way, and I was like, oh, this is really good. And every single week they seem to take off, and people really enjoy them. I know Sharpie had a good time yesterday, retweeting the last one because he used her GIF for when she had won the first of 5 for Skullgirls. Yeah. And that was awesome. I'm really happy that they've caught on. and it really does highlight a big portion of the FGC that people really don't talk about, stuff like that, because a lot of attention does get drawn to the negativity, but we really enjoy the good stories that come up from our community. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's another part of it. Like I've never really it's all in my head, but like there's certain rules that I try to follow. So I try to make sure it's community oriented. So like I'm not like thunderclapping big news sites that are actually covering stuff or anything like that. I'm trying to make sure it's always grounded in the community. It doesn't necessarily even have to be positive, as long as it's positive action from the community. I want to go, look, this is a good thing that we're doing. Even if it's a negative thing that we're talking about. So it's just a different way to look at it, I think. So yeah, just sharing good stuff that we do at that level, where it is just us basically looking after ourselves.
Well, I mean, someone needs to police us. It might as well be us, because anyone else that tries to police the FGC, we throw a goddamn hissy fit. So I guess if we can start doing it well, and showing people that there are good and decent things and proper things and a whole bunch of stuff going on, I think eventually that'll lead to better leadership from everyone, if that makes any sense.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, that's your mission for starting that out is way more wholesome than like a lot of things that I've heard for like this fucking show here, where I'm just like, I don't know, I want to talk to people and like let people be heard and shit like that. But like that's really the end of it, because like I'm a dumb person, so I was just like, that's the whole mission, is give people a voice, and you've come out with a whole platform of like, I want to do better to like raise the community and like highlight a whole bunch of things, and like from pushback, like, no, you guys don't want this, and so good on you, dude, because goddamn, you're a much better person than I am, or at least a much more. Your plan is much more laid out than my fucking show is. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit there, man. At the very least, when I saw what you were doing with this podcast, the fact that it's called Some Random, I was like, that's such a smart idea, because every time you talk to someone in a tournament and they go, oh, I'm in losers, and you're like, oh, what happened is I got bodied by some random. And I thought that's what you were doing, was just, well, I'm going to give a name and a voice to those some randoms that you know, aren't necessarily winning tournaments, but either going like 0-2, 2-2, and are turning up like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much where this started. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's amazing. So,
yeah, that's the naming concept came exactly from that, because you always see the term like some random thrown around, because it's really a sign of like disrespect and like not giving someone the credit that they deserve, because you don't know that person or whatever. So like some random, like I don't know who the fuck this is, and I was like, well, what if I made those people not some random anymore, or at least tried my best to make sure that person wasn't just some random. Person was someone.
Us pop monsters, we're people too,
Yeah, god damn it. I might not make it out of pools, but I'm the reason that you're able to fucking eat good tonight. So you owe me some respect, you son of a bitch. Which I'm sure is the positive attitude that I need to be bringing into this show.
100%.
But all right, so let's step away from the positive. Oh, thank you for the follow, Karate Man. And I bring attention to that now before I transition. For anyone that's listening in the future on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, they killed iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, all of the fun stuff. We're live on twitch.tv/SrirachAFlash. So if you'd like to come join us for an interview and hang out in the chat, ask questions sometimes, feel free to join us. Twitch.tv/SrirachAFlash. We usually do these Tuesdays and Thursday nights around 8 o'clock, 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern time. But we're more than happy to have you around, and if you want to be on the show, shoot me a message. So if you see me addressing people in the chat or addressing alerts that come up, that's what that is. But now, back to you, Mr. Wireman. Before we get into your video game background and everything else, quick icebreaker. The icebreaker that I've been really taking a liking to lately. What is the most surprising thing that someone could find out about you?
I think you might actually know this already, but I was an aircraft engineer for close to 10 years, and that was a big part of my life. And I was one of the fastest people to actually climb up through the ranks of that. It's meant to traditionally take about 10 years to get fully licensed and qualified, and I was part of an experimental group that did that in between 2 and 4. So I was one of the fastest people to kind of get that license and be one of the youngest as well. So that was quite interesting. It was a big career thing. I thought I was going to be doing that for the rest of my life because of that kind of work, but obviously, yeah, you get older and things change and stuff. And now I'm back home, up in the north of England, rather than working out of Heathrow Airport. But no, it was a big part of me that I don't really talk about as much anymore.
No, that's actually something that I've heard like rumblings from you. Like I've heard you mention it before, but I never knew the details. But now I do. That's incredible. So, all right, every time, well, not every time. I'll say twice now because our third European guest, Cross Moon, he's still just a babe. He's still a little wet behind the ears, so he doesn't really have a lot going on. But you and Lemmy Hawkins that I've had on, Lemmy, my previous episode, he used to work in a hospital. Like he graduated and instead of military service, he took hospital service. Worked in a hospital for 3 years and like learned to be a nurse. And then I have you on here and you're like, fucking 10 years in aircraft. Like, goddamn, y'all are way more sophisticated than us Americans. I swear to God.
No. The reason I thought you would know is I've seen you working on like die taps and things like that.
Oh yeah.
And doing machining and stuff, and I miss it, man. I miss that stuff so much. Like I come home now. I do engineering consultancy now basically, so I just tell other people how to do that stuff. But I really do miss actually getting my hands dirty and making something, you know. So it's an honest way to work, man. Like
it really is. I work. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I specialize in Haas machining and some other stuff like that. But yeah, so a lot of die taps, a lot of like today. This is gonna be really fucking boring for everyone listening, except for me and Wireman. But like working on a part nest today, and we hold tolerances of like plus or minus 1,000ths usually.
Yeah.
Which for those people that don't know, like if you look at your fingernail, like the thinnest part of your fingernail. That is 5,000ths of an inch. So I hold 1/5 of that on metal parts when we're machining. Like that's generally what we do. And you would think that seems way too complicated. Like why does anything need to be that way? But until you're working with it, you really don't realize how fucking crucial that shit is. So like I don't know, like working on this part today, and I'm holding the 1,000ths, and I'm working on like in a central bore for it, and I can't get the taper out from the top to the bottom. From the top to the bottom, there's like a 2.5 thousandths taper, and I can't figure out why. And finally, I take a look at the end mill, and the bottom of this square end mill. For those that don't know, an end mill is like a carbide piece of drilling like tool that you use to mill out the inside of things. Just look it up, end mill, carbide end mill. You'll see the first thing. And there's like, it looks like someone has just like broken all the fucking corners off of this thing. And so that's why it just wasn't cutting near the bottom. And it was making me crazy for a good hour today. Just like couldn't figure out why this taper was there. And that was why. And yeah, so that's machining for people that don't know. That's my life. So yeah, I understand Wireman. Now I get it. Now I understand. But it's good work, man. I enjoy the fuck out of it.
It is, yeah.
I
still make fight sticks from time to time. I think that was one of my first sort of entryways into the FGC. But like, yeah, it's not the same. That's like, you know, that stuff's Lego by comparison to actually working on metal and stuff like that. But yeah, man, we had really harsh people like who taught us that as well, because like it's difficult to do anyway. But yeah, like you said, the tolerances are all there and all the rest of it. We had like a proper evil lecturer that would like smash our stuff if it wasn't like close to being good enough and things. It was
oh wow,
yeah, a rough way to learn.
Oh man, no, Jesus, that's at least ours. We get like, it wasn't good enough, throw it back, but we might not get paid for that job. But like, no, I couldn't imagine be like, nope, fuck you, smashed. Jesus.
Oh, it was rough. I couldn't talk about some of the things that happened in that class, man, because yeah, I don't want to get him in any trouble. But yeah, it was a very old-fashioned upbringing, man.
Ours was all like on the job training, because I don't have a degree in engineering, but through pure circumstance, I was. All right, hold on, 1 second, everyone, time out. Opal Francis, hey, you need to chill, dude. Dad's doing a show. All right, can you keep it down? Much appreciated. Thank you. Sorry, everyone. That's parenting with Jose. I'll cut that out of the rest of the episode.
She's an essential guest, man. Right?
She really is. She really is. Opal, would you like to come ask a question? You want to ask what everyone's favorite Pokemon is? Well, hold on. Stop. Can you say, Wireman, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Wireman, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Well, Opal, I think that my favourite Pokemon is Tyranitar. Do you know Tyranitar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best one, huh? Tyranitar is pretty cool. He is from the movie. Now, why don't you go find your Pokemon book and go find Tyranitar? That'll keep her busy for about 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, my daughter Opal. An essential guest of the program.
Am I the first person to be interviewed by Opal on
You're not the first one, but you are the first one in a minute. So I'll give you that much. She's recently stopped making so many appearances, but she's working on it. She's getting her interview skills up like her dad. Oh man! All right, so let's dig into the fighting game background because now I'm curious. So, what got you into fighting games? What led you down this path to want to improve the community in the first place and help us all out?
It's always been very good to me. The FGC. I've said that a million times, but it's always been the case, and even like now, the FGC is very very good to me. But when I started out, let's go way back.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
So yeah, I'm from a family of 3 kids. So and I mentioned recently elsewhere, like the first console we had in our house that I didn't have to borrow off other people was the Sega Saturn. So it had 2 controllers and 3 kids and 2 controllers. It was never going to work. So we mostly played like is on games, so it was like racing games and fighting games straight away. Like that was just the only diplomatic way to play on a console. Those 3. But also my best friend at the time, who was the same age as me, we both had very busy parents, so we had nowhere to go after school. I live on the coast here, so we had an arcade that we could go to. Most of the seaside places in the northeast still had arcades in the 90s. We still do here. So yeah, I'd hang out there quite a lot. From there it kind of built for a long time, just in the background. That thing where you think that you're the best in your school or you're the best in your town and all of the rest of it, and then come sort of Street Fighter 4 coming out and things like that, people were starting to go online a bit more, and you realise that all of a sudden you weren't the big fish and all the rest of it. And then some bad things happened that I'll not get into, but you regress when then things happen and you go back to the last time you were happy, and the last time I was happy was when I was younger and playing video games and reading comic books. So I kind of fell really hard back into doing that. So I played a lot of fighting games and started buying a lot of comics again, which became very expensive very quick, so I stopped that again. But yeah, that was the thing, and in the in-between time from me being in the FGC when it was a lot smaller and then me coming back to the FGC, it was that people just kept talking to me like I'd never left, and it was never a thing. So even though I was technically an 09er now and all of the rest of it, there was no, there wasn't that level of disrespect that I know some people talked about back in the forum days and stuff, but everyone was always really, really supportive with me and always helped me out whenever I had questions and things like that. And that's just carried on. Everyone's always been nice. I think that's a fortunate position. Not everybody gets that. So I try to do the best to give everyone else that as well.
Well, you've done a hell of a good job, man. Giving respect to everybody else and giving everyone a chance. That's good to hear. Like, yeah, you do hear those stories where people do go away, or they haven't been in the scene for a little bit, and like, I don't know how much disrespect, but like definitely like you don't get the same level of respect as like someone who's been around for a long time consistently. And that does happen. Like I know it happened. I'll just say with a friend because I don't want to give their name up, but I had a friend that went away for a while and then did come back and like got treated with like who the fuck is this guy kind of treatment. But yeah, that shit does happen. But I'm happy that people continue to give you the level of respect you deserve, man, because you're a good ass dude. So I appreciate it. Hey, what's up? Chill.
Something under your chair.
I will get it under my chair. So, all right. So let's go even further back. Let's go even further back from fighting games. Fuck fighting games for a minute. Fighting games suck. No one likes fighting games. Even people that play fighting games don't like fighting games. What was your first video game? What led you down all of this?
So you're a true OG like me. I think you're from like the 2nd or 3rd generation of consoles like I am. So my first machine was an Acorn Electron, which is an old British machine. And yeah, as much as I had a fighting game on that, which was Yao Kung Fu, the first games that I was playing were a game called Frack and a game called Boxer, which might sound like a fighting game. It probably precedes side-scrolling beat-em-ups a bit more, or even like it's an action platformer more than anything. But these are like really janky, early British-built games that you played on cassette tapes that, did not age well whatsoever. Nobody misses them. There's no nostalgia where people are like, oh, I really wish I could still play Boxer or Frack.
No, I feel I'm from an older generation of games and shit like that. I definitely started. I still have the old my ColecoVision is in the garage. That thing hasn't been unboxed in years and years and years. I forgot I even had that damn thing until we moved into this house out of the old shitty house. And then I just like saw it in the bottom of a box and I was like, oh, that's a thing that exists. Bottom of the pile still, and like I'm not bringing that thing back out. But yeah, like the old school NES and like the ColecoVision, all that stuff, like those were my gems growing up as a kid, man. I wouldn't go back to it, but like there's some NES gems that I'll go back to, like Bayou Billy on the NES and Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, like the classics. You go back to those consistently because they're good. They're classics for a reason, right?
Yeah, you can go back and you can still play them. Like I tried to go back and play Elite, like the original Elite, which again, like 1985, 6 or something like that. And I was like, oh, I miss that game, and I was playing Elite Dangerous at the time, which is obviously like the modern kind of version.
Right.
And then I went back, and then after about 10 minutes of working out how to run the thing, I was in it for about 60 seconds, and I was like, yeah, this isn't that good, is it? And like, yeah, you don't realize that as a kid, like 90% of that was your own imagination making those games more interesting than they were.
Yeah. Oh my god. It definitely. That's another big one that like a lot of people don't talk about. Is a lot of those like early games, they really was like our imagination making those things work and function. It like at all to even be fun at all. You've definitely filled in a lot of blanks that you never think about and talk about. All right, so I found Elite because I want to put it up on the screen and make sure this is the proper one that we're talking about. Is this Elite right here that we're looking at? Transform. We're gonna fit this to screen.
Oh, I'm gonna have to boot up the stream. Actually, I'm not even on it myself. I was worried that my British bandwidth would be too low.
Oh, here, hold on. I will throw it in the Discord then, just for you.
Oh, nice.
Just for you, my friend. Fucking picture. Look at that. I know how to run a stream, you guys. I've done this.
Black and white, and it's got like 4 lines. Then
Yeah,
probably.
That's the one. Hopefully, this is gonna be the one that shows up for you. Yeah, that's.
So that's on a slightly nicer machine than mine. So my machine wasn't color. I had green and black. So imagine that with only green and black, and that's what I was playing on.
Oh man,
quite a massive world though. So you're actually flying around in space. If you played like the modern Elite games, like it's still pretty. It was vast then, and there was some scary things in there that you didn't understand. Like there was like alien things that you were unaware of and stuff. But yeah, you had to. There was no directed gameplay, if that makes sense. There was no story or anything like that. You had to work that out for yourself. And yeah, unlike that's what Doom 2016 is the only other game that's just been like, the bad guys, just kill them and stuff like that. That doesn't happen so much anymore.
Yeah, no, definitely not. There are a lot of games that I think benefit from a lack of story. Like, I know I'm gonna get fucking dogged on for this, but games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Whoa. Okay, thank you. Dark Souls and Bloodborne benefit from a lack of story, I think. There's a story there. Don't get me wrong. And people like, don't fucking come at me that much, guys. There's a story there, but ostensibly, like, you could play through Bloodborne and Dark Souls and never pick up a plot bit of information. Like, just kind of go about your way. I kind of miss like a lot of those games, but I think those do it pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't get into the Dark Souls. I played Bloodborne for a little bit, but the thing that got me into it was Sekiro, actually, and I played that more as a Tenchu fan than as a Dark Souls fan. And I had a lot of fun with that. It was very much the same thing. It was that, yeah, you could play that how you wanted to. You didn't have to kind of be interested in the story to enjoy the craft of actually playing that game.
Yeah, some games are just on their own without the support of a story. Like, they're very, very good. They do a very good job. All right. Olukaran. Olukaran says he's in Olukaran. God damn it! Listen, that's what he's getting. He's gonna. All right, from now. All right. So some Transformer Olukaran. If I'm looking at this picture, where is he? Olukaran. All right. All right. Well, listen, you goddamn Transformer. If I was gonna find you in this picture, where? Which one? Because I see Wireman in the middle. Left of Wireman. Okay, all right, I got you. I was like, well, there's only other one other person, glass on the left, leaning in. Oh, okay, all right, I got you. I had to know. Not the black guy behind him. Okay, well, no one can see my fucking mouse on the screen hovering over him anyway. So, perfect. The guy in the glasses, awesome. Thank you, 80 Trump. Thank you, Sam. Anyway, all right. So got that out of the way. Sorry, Olukaran. Jesus Christ in heaven. I'm never gonna get it ever fucking right. Ever. Well, shit. All right. So, Wireman, I know you've been a good amount of places. You've done a decent amount of like traveling and shit like that within Europe. If you were to come stateside, David, perfect. David Transformer from now on. If you were going to come stateside for an event, which FGC event are you coming to?
I'm a little gutted that Combo Breakers kind of sold out so quickly this time around. It was actually on, like, the day before I was talking about how I was going to go, and then, I woke up the next morning and saw just saw all those tweets blowing up about just how much it had oversold and all the rest of it. That is going to become a thing of its own now. Like, CEO's already been there, Evo's been there. Like, I think Combo Breakers now cemented itself as the one of these events that you just have to go to at some point in your life,
100%. Combo Breaker for me is probably the best U.S. premier event that we have. Outside of like my personal favorite tournaments with stuff like Michigan Masters. Like that is Michigan Masters is my favorite tournament of all time because it's like a 3-day party. But Combo Breaker is Disney World for video games or for fighting games. It is awesome from top to bottom. I'm excited to see the new venue this year and what they do. Because I thought last year's venue was pretty good, but I didn't stay at the hotel. A lot of people had complaints about the hotel itself, but the venue was pretty fucking dope. I'll agree with you wholeheartedly and say for anyone overseas listening, if you're gonna come to an American event, make sure it's Combo Breaker. And I will make sure not to get so drunk that they have to put me in an ambulance and carry me out of the venue again. But it was one time. Honestly, it was a pretty good night. I beat Itazan. I don't want to say I beat Itazan. I took a game off of Itazan. I made him do a shot with me.
We take those.
Yeah, we take those. I took a game off of Itazan. I made him take a shot out of my bottle of whiskey. And then I woke up in a hospital the next day. It was a pretty good fucking weekend. Everyone come to Combo Breaker. Solid times.
Just the way that like that mini doc that went out last year, was it Esteban that made the documentary? And like just the way that Rick describes what the vision was and what he's trying to do, where he's like, I want it to be like a festival where like, you see one stage and there's things going on over there, and then there's another stage over there, and you don't have to be into everything. You can just be interested and just go and see different things. And it just sounded like such a cool, again, really traditional kind of part of the FGC that of just there's noise over there. I want to see what the noise is about, and like I'd love to experience that.
Yeah, it's it really is. I mean, Rick's passion for the event is, I think, what really drives it. He does an outstanding job with promotion and making everyone feel like you're comfortable and having a good time at all times. He just does excellent work, man, and I'm super happy that he continues to do it, and he opens this venue for us. And I hope. Look, I'm just saying, I'm gonna be there. If you want to talk about splitting a room, we'll talk after the show.
Top and tail, man.
Yeah, look, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I think that's all I got from there. So here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna open up questions from the chat. If people want to ask questions from the beautiful chat, I love you all. If you guys want to ask questions to Wireman, feel free to throw them in the chat right now. We'll answer every single one that comes through within reason, But while I ask you these next two questions, Wireman, if you had to give me your favorite story from the FGC, which would it be?
So I was thinking about this today, right? And I think I don't know if you remember this stuff so much, but like, do you remember the Funding Nemo thing?
Yeah, raised by the Urian Discord, or was it the?
No. This is Marvel 3 times.
Oh, okay. No, I don't remember this one.
or funding Nemo obviously, but it was funding Nemo at the time. But yeah, it was that kind of era where money matches and things were happening. The FGC was a little bit smaller, and like you only found out about stuff like that because just they'd be hyped very briefly on Twitter or on Facebook or somewhere. And it was a moment where Nemo actually went over to America after getting a couple of people like kind of just shouting at him and saying, "Oh, I can destroy you in Marvel," and went over and just destroyed them, took all their money, and flew home again. And it was such a casual thing, but you really had to be aware of it, what was going on. So everyone was like following hashtags and things like that on Twitter, and then different games were happening. You're having to watch shaky cams and things like that on people's streams, and then people would be like, "Oh, there was problems with the payouts. Like there was loads of drama about someone actually giving their money over. Come see my stream, and I'll talk about that in my hotel room about all of the things that happened with people paying up and stuff like that." And I just thought it really solidified one of those eras where it might be part of it being a European as well, but over here it would be like 2:00 in the morning, so it would just happen that you'd be like looking at your phone in the middle of the night and suddenly something amazing was happening, and you'd have to just suddenly be awake and find out what was going on. It wasn't like one of the biggest money matches of all time, but like the Fnatic versus Executioner comeback that was like 2012, 2013, that was another one where was it like first to 15 or something like that, and again it was like 3 a.m, and it was just Executioner's back, and it was like, what? And everyone had to jump in and just watch these really long, really like draining Marvel 2 sets where Fnatic just had his life taken away from him very, very slowly, basically.
Man.
And it was like those kind of moments that might be quite a thing that I can only describe as someone who's in a different time zone, but that's such a cool thing that I miss. But yeah, that makes it a favorite kind of moment for me, was just those weird money match eras of maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
That's super cool. That is something that I mean, we kind of have that here, because I mean, I don't want to say we. I'll speak solely for myself. When I wake up and I realize like, Southeast Asian majors going on right now, and it's like 4 a.m, and I see something crazy happening, I'm like, what the fuck did I miss? So then I gotta go back and I'm like, well, like this is great, and it like, but there are still things like that where they kind of like they come up and fizzle out, and we don't really have like a record of any of those things happening, except for like a couple of, like Twitter blurbs every now and then. So I know the feeling, but I can't speak universally for everyone, but I understand. But all right, so really quick before we get to listener questions, I actually have another one that I didn't write down, but you got me thinking about it. So with the Fnatic and Executioner match, are there matches that you go back and watch like repeatedly because you're like, that was just a fucking great match?
That is actually one of them, yeah. A weird one that I actually watch quite a lot is the Virtua Fighter 5 top 8 from like 2012, I think it was. And it was watching Fudo playing Virtua Fighter, and just watching him play that was like a different thing altogether. It's like an Elf Waiter versus what am I talking about? Elf Waiter. it was Shundi versus their version of Elf Waiter, and oh my god. But yeah, it was super sick to actually watch El Blaze, man. But yeah, watching that was super cool. The old KOF top 8 of KOF 13 as well, and again seeing like Takedo, like old murder face Takedo. Before that, like a completely different guy when you watch Murderface play versus now, so yeah, I like to go back and watch those sort of ones, and even some modern stuff actually. Like I actually watched the original sort of Capcom Cup, the first season for Street Fighter 5 and things like that, and you just remember Mika having like mid-screen wall bounces and stuff like that, and just go, yeah, that was a weird, different game.
Yeah, it really was, man. Yeah, whew, that's El Blase. Fucking 80 terminal. No, those are solid fucking matches, and always ones that are like seeing people that are prominent in Street Fighter 5 now and like the Street Fighter scene, like Fudo. When people find out like Dogura played Blaze Blue, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, no, Dogura's. It's weird because Dogura is proficient in every game that he fucking touches. Or like when Takedo was playing Street Fighter Cross Tekken, or when people remember that Daigo won Evo at Guilty Gear twice.
Yeah.
Like it's always like those weird fucking things where people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, yeah, Dogro was sick at Tekken 2. Like, the dude's just a fucking master. All right, but now we'll get to the chat questions. AD Terminal wants to know, what is your perfect arcade stick and why? Run us through the setup.
So 80 Terminal and me, we share rooms at a bunch of tournaments, and this is a conversation that we have all the time. So I think he's just trying to get me to start arguments. But so yeah, I've always messed around with sticks, and like I said, one of the ways that I kind of found my way back into the FGC was on like the SRK Team Tech Talk forum. So I was always like talking about stuff there, modifying stuff. And when I first started going back into tournaments in Street Fighter 5. I was going like full custom ridiculous stuff. So I had like oversized actuators and lightweight springs, and I had like my Samitsus. I was swapping out everything, and I've got to an age now and a point now where I've gone all the way right back to like just basic TE bone stocks, and now I'm on like a standard Sanwa JLF -8YT. I've got just normal Sanwa 30mm. I've got a square gate. I've got a normal size actuator. I've got normal spring. And I did that for a bunch of reasons. One is that I can borrow anybody's stick, but also it's a good chance that anybody can borrow my stick as well. And that's a Vuelix layout, not a Noir layout. Very important. I'm sure he's listening and waiting for that. One of my favorite sticks for a long time was actually the Hori Wrap and the Hori EX. I was one of the few people who didn't think there was a problem having a face button with the Hori Wrap. I was quite happy to have my start button up there. It was good for select linking in Street Fighter 4 days and things like that. Not too controversial about where the start and the option button go and things like that.
Yeah, me neither. All right, so like on mine, so I have a little poverty stick, but I'm proud of that goddamn thing. I have a Kanba drone. But like I like it because it's lightweight. It does. I don't know. It functions for me, and like my option buttons on the front, but you can just lock the fucking thing if you don't want to touch it. Like I don't see the problem. But it's like right there on the face, and I really enjoy it.
I really liked the original. What was it called? The Hori. Oh my god, I forgot its name now. The original fancy Hori, before they had the all metal top and it had like a glass top, and it had a tournament mode where it would like the lights would all go red.
The crystal?
All the side buttons. No. I can't remember its name now.
Fuck it. Well, listen, it's a bygone era. We'll never see it again.
There's one of the whales that I want to get eventually is to get an old Virtua Stick high grade again, the old PlayStation 1. But yeah, they're getting more expensive and harder to find.
Oh, I think ED Terminal's right. Is it the Hori VLX?
Nah, not the VLX,
Shit.
The other one.
Shit. Alright, now I'm on a fucking mission. I'll find this goddamn thing. God damn it, not the VLX. Alright. We're on our way. See what you did to this AD Terminal? I swear to God, these fucking Urian players.
The Fighting Edge. It was the original Fighting Edge, so not the new Fighting Edge where it's all flush. There was a Mark 1 Fighting Edge where it had soft buttons down the side of it, and you could hot map and things like that. Again, I know Noir layout on that one, so a bit controversial for what I've just said, but it's got some cool features.
Okay, all right. So the original Fighting Edge, got you. Okay, now I'm seeing it. Oh, okay. Whoa. All right. I like this thing. I like this a lot. What the fuck? Why don't we have this one around anymore?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm all about this. All right, so it's got like the little Fighting Edge symbol in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it had soft buttons on the side, so you can see there you could actually customize like what your tournament mode would switch off and things like that. You could remap buttons at the stick end, not in the options and things like that. Really cool stuff.
Okay. All right, now I'm down with you. All right, I'm gonna try to put this on screen for everyone so that we know what the fuck we're talking about. Hopefully, I found the right one. I think I did. This old school like Fighting Edge. Here, I'll send it in our chat too so you can see it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I found the right one.
Blue lights.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah, that's the right one. That's a fucking sick stick. All right, now I just want. So I'm gonna little bit of fucking history here. So I'm gonna compare this stick that's on the screen right now for anyone that's watching. So we have this stick, and this stick was probably from, 2012, 2013?
Yeah, around there.
Okay, so then I want people to compare that to this fight stick, which was around 3 to 4 years earlier, maybe a little bit like older than that, but not by much. If I can find the fucking thing. Good googly moogly. There it is. All right. This fucking behemoth. And I'll send that in our little Discord chat too if you don't have the stream up. But this thing is a goddamn monster. It is one of the ugliest sticks I've ever seen in my entire life. Everyone that I bring it up to tries to defend it as if it's worth a damn. You can't fool me. This thing is uglier than fucking sin. It's got like weird like crouch forward buttons. I don't fucking like it. It's awful. Hold on, fucking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These buttons. Yeah, these fucking buttons are horrendous. And like if you zoom in on the stick itself, it's got like on the fight stick it's got defensive and offensive crouch, which are things that I've never heard of. Yeah. It's so fucking weird. It's got like defensive jump and offensive jump for like forward and back jumps.
Is this the mass stick that you're being mean about?
Yes, yeah, it is. It is the mass stick. There we go. Hold on. Now it should be in our Discord chat now. Yeah, the mass stick is just forward flip, back defense, forward defensive crouch, jump, crouch, offensive crouch. Yeah, this fucking hell. I hate this thing.
As an American, you're not allowed to say nasty things about that. You're aware of this.
Well, I will listen. It is my right as an American to remain steadfast in my beliefs, regardless of the facts and information put in front of me. Yeah, that thing is a fucking awful stick, man. Then compared to this fucking beauty on the screen right now, with these fucking LED lights, god damn, we have come. It is like a Nokia flip phone to like an iPhone. That's what that is. That is awful. But that's just me being a salty old man. Yeah, that stick is terrible. So MQS FGC wants to know, Mr. Wireman, why are you always wearing UYU merch in every fucking photo?
So he's a teammate, and I wear a lot of Reason gear, man. Come on, I'm actually sitting in my old Vitality hoodie at the moment, so I've got no excuses. But
oh my god, a man of the people.
I said this a while ago that like I've been only buying t-shirts and hoodies that are like FGC related at the moment. I'm like, why would I want to put money into H&M's pockets when I can put money into a streamer's pockets and things like that? So I'm trying as much as possible now to just spend. You know, I don't really care about how I look too much, and a lot of the stuff that we've got is pretty decent. So I've been spending a lot more money there and a lot less on the high street. So I'm happy to spend money on FGC brands.
What a man of the people. You really are. I was about to give you more shit for like when you're like, oh, I'm not putting money in H&M's pockets. I was going to be like, oh, well, what is it then? And you're like, no, I'm just supporting the scene. I'm like, fuck, all right. He's a better person than I am, too. He's smarter than me.
Nah.
Jeez, well, you just take over the fucking show. I don't want to do this show anymore. Jesus Christ.
It's just a win-win scenario. That's all, isn't it? You know, yeah. I get clothes. They get to, support their streams. That's fair. Why wouldn't you do that?
That's fair. I can't knock you for that. All right, so I'll ask you my last question. But before I do that, I just want to let everyone know, again, if you have any questions for Wireman, feel free to throw them in the chat. Ask him anything, and we will answer everything truthfully and honestly, and if he doesn't, I'll break his fingers. But, Wireman, this last question isn't really a question. It is a platform. It is a soapbox for you to stand on and openly talk about what's on your mind lately, anything you want to talk about, anything you want to put out in the air. This is for you. So anything that you want to get off your chest, now's your time.
I'm pretty easygoing with that stuff. I've not got anything controversial to say. No, like I said, like check out the stuff that I've been doing on Players Lobby. I think more people need to be kind of promoting that stuff when it's outside of our platform. You know, FGC is very good at talking intrinsically, but the rare occasion that we get something that's out on esports websites, and it's not just about promoting my stuff. Yeah, this is like if it goes on Kotaku, if it goes anywhere else, like we always give those places a lot of shit. And if we can be a bit more supportive about the good stuff when it is there, I think it'll help us in the long run. There's a lot of kind of grassroots versus esports stuff still going on. I don't think that's necessarily a dichotomy. I don't think that you can only pick one or the other. So no, yeah, I think there's more we can do there without necessarily giving up all of our values and stuff like that. One thing I was kind of hoping to talk about though today was I think it was my last retweet before the retweet of the stream link. You'll see I've retweeted a guy, a much beloved FGC head in the UK called Willow, and he's shared the odds for Evo Japan coming up. So the gambling odds on Bet365. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on some of them. There's some interesting names with interesting odds next to them, basically. I don't know what the laws are in America. You guys allowed to gamble and stuff like that?
All right, so... Okay, I'm going to tell a quick story. Sorry, guys, I'm not going to make this podcast about me, I promise. And then I'll tell you what the gambling laws are in America. So I don't gamble heavily anymore. In 2009, I lost $3,000 in the span of 45 days gambling on NFL, American football. I lost a lot of money. And at the time, I was living alone by myself, and my girlfriend at the time, me and her had just split up. So I was in an apartment. I had a decent job. Didn't have any bills except for basic shit to live. And at the time, living in a small town, I could just go to the store because I was 19. I could just go to the store, buy beer, because in America you have to be 21. But shout out to undisclosed party store who I won't get in trouble, but they would just sell me fucking beer. So I would after work I'd grab beer, whatever, and then I could go up to the Soaring Eagle Casino in Mount Pleasant. And at Soaring Eagle Casino they had a hush hush sports book, that people could get you in contact with a web service, and then you could place bets. And I lost just over $3,000 in the span of about 45 days, including betting against the Saints in the playoffs, which was a dumb move on my part. But then betting on the Colts to win the Super Bowl was my last big bet, and I think I bet $700, and I lost all that. Maybe it was a little bit more, maybe a little bit, rounding up. But those were painful times. So now, God, losing my voice, my puberty just hit. Good Lord. So now I don't bet as heavily, but with the legalization of gambling in Michigan and some states, and Las Vegas has always had legal sportsbook gambling, but now they have actual legal sports gambling. Super into it, super excited. I can't wait to have to explain to my wife that we lost the house. But that's for the future. Yeah, it was the Colts Saints Super Bowl in which the Saints opened the second half by with an onside kick. And that's when I knew that I had just lost a bunch of money.
I was in the States that weekend in Boston. I remember watching that in.
Get the fuck out of here! You were watching me lose a bunch. Little did you know, someone about 1,345 miles away in the town of St. Louis, Michigan, was losing his fucking mind because I was upset. Nah, listen, David, I can't hate you for being a Patriots fan. I understand. I get it. Look, everyone likes what they likes. All right. I'm a diehard Packers fan because I grew up watching the Packers, because my grandpa liked the Packers, because they were on TV a lot when he immigrated to this country. So no big deal. Everyone likes what they like. I'll never hate anyone for liking someone unless you're a Lions fan. If you're a Lions fan, go fuck yourself. And the Vikings, but whatever. And the Seahawks. I blew up my appendix watching the Seahawks-Packers game once upon a time. But that's a story for another time. So anyway, sports betting is legal now, kind of. I know, we're off the football. We're off the Jose podcast now. So, Punk is 5-1. Fujimura 61. Tokido 8-1. Momochi 12-1. Nemo 13-1. Getchikun 17-1. Blah, blah, blah. On and on. Odds. But
I thought at the bottom you've got Travis Styles at 125-1. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah. Anti is on there. Anti the Smash player at 100-1 to win Evo Japan.
Yeah.
Ricky Ortiz, former runner-up to the Capcom Cup, second place in Capcom Cup. Ricky Ortiz, 150-1. I think she could do some damage. Dr. Mandrick, 100-1. Punko, 100-1. Shine 100-1. Goddamn! If I was gonna make a bet, I'm not betting on Daigo. I'm not betting on Dogura. I would put money on Storm Kubo. I'd put money on Kichipamu, and then I would put money on the man that I beat at combo breaker, Itazan.
Man,
Itabashi
that's
Zangief
like
at 40-1.
What's this wall of big bodies at 40-1? Yeah, that's good prices on them as well, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 40-1. All right, so that's like all right. So for people that don't know, for the way the gambling odds work are like kind of weird, right? So when we say someone is like 40-1, the first number is the amount that like you'll win from wagering your second number. So if you put down $1 on Itazan and he wins, you win $40, right? So that's 40-1. If you were to put $100 on him, you would win $400. In the States, we have like the plus. I don't know like how you guys do all your specific gambling there. So like let's say something is plus 500. If you bet 500, or if you bet $100, you win 500. If something is minus 500, you would have to bet 500 to win 100 because they're like an odds-on favorite. And that's kind of how gambling works, or the sports gambling works. For people that don't know, but yeah. But if I'm like fucking Itazan 40-1, I'd throw $20 on that. Throw $20 to win back like what? Fucking 800? Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. 5 on Ricky and 20 on Itazan. MQS, you're my fucking man. Absolutely. Yeah, Anti had better. It's crazy to me that Anti has better odds than Travis Styles. That's fucking wild. Do I think either one of them are gonna win? Hell no. Will Travis Styles place higher than Anti? Abso-fucking-lutely.
It's interesting. Like I think bookies still don't really know how to make a book when it comes to a lot of esports, especially something as small as the FGC. And it does mean you get really interesting odds. Like it was at the time, like so Evo last year, there was really crazy odds on Problem X because again the bookmakers didn't really know where to place them. And we have a system in the UK at least called buyback, so you can actually you can sell your bet back to the bookmakers if it was too good a price. Basically, they want to kind of cut their losses. They can buy their bet back off you. And there was loads of, you could make money just buying, like selling back Problem X bets and things like that, because as soon as people realized how much he was going for, loads of people started betting, and the bookies started changing the prices very, very quickly to try and manage that.
Okay, so it's like hedging. We have like hedging here in America, like buybacks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's, man, you can make a lot. You can make a fucking killing like that, especially with like FGC gambling where no one knows. Oh my god.
But, yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's all in the buybacks. It's not even about voting for winners at the moment. It is like you can make money other ways.
Oh my god, yeah. Like let's say for example you got Storm Kubo, right? Storm Kubo at 40-1. Let's say you put $100 on Storm Kubo. Storm Kubo makes it to top 8, and all of a sudden like bets are flooding in. You sell that shit immediately. Because if he gets knocked out into like 5th place or 7th place or something like that, you still made money, and everyone else that has to fucking eat the goddamn bone on it. I almost said a way worse phrase that I normally use off stream, so I fucking had to stop and say "eat the bone," which is not a phrase, but I'm gonna start making it a phrase to cover my ass.
It's interesting to see Ata's on there at 66-1. I've not heard Ata's name since like season 1, season 2.
Did you not hear Ata's name the other day from Dogura?
Okay.
Quick film. People that don't know, Dogura was streaming, and I think Ata was in the chat, or maybe had said something about Ken being trash, and Dogura said Ken is not trash, Ata is trash.
Yeah.
And oh fucking, that set my sides into oblivion. I was losing my mind. Fucking Dogura.
Yeah, maybe we'll see them settle something. Evo Japan.
God, that'd be great. All right, so the pools start for you guys in 4 hours, which is like, what, 5 in the morning?
Yeah, I'll be up.
Yeah. They start for me in 4 hours at midnight tonight, so I can't wait to see it. My good friend No Good Citizen is out there playing. I think his pools start at 2 in the morning for us, so.
Sick. The president's over there.
Yeah, the president's over there. He had himself a wonderful event. I'm going to have him on the show after he gets back from Evo Japan to tell the whole story. But his Airbnb got fucked up pretty gnarly. And I'm going to have him on here to tell the whole show. Essentially, he almost got scammed out of a bunch of money and maybe kidnapped. It's a weird fucking story. Yeah, it's wild. But with that, fucking... if you're in a place where gambling is legal, put some money on Itabashi. Team Big Body. Big bodies are where it's at.
Sorry, I didn't realise that it's such a normal part of British culture to talk about gambling. I didn't even think about that stuff. But yeah, when the fun stops, you stop is what we say here in the UK. So, do it responsibly.
I gotta say, I love your guys' gambling ads. I may or may not watch a bunch of streams from the BBC, or not from the BBC. What is it? It's what's your guys' fucking sports broadcasting thing? It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Sky Sports? Or...
Not Sky Sports. There's another one. I'm gonna load up a website really quick. Don't mind me. I gotta make sure this is the right fucking one. It starts. It's something 2. God damn it. Anyways, the British BT Sport. BT Sport. That's
BT
the one.
Sport. Yeah.
Yeah, BT Sport's the fucking shit. But I love your guys'. Yeah, Sky Sports 2. You got it, David. No, BT Sport and BT Sport 2 that have like the gambling ads, and I'm like, man, that's why I appreciate your guys' culture, is because you guys treat adults like adults, where you're like, be responsible. Like, you can do this thing, but be responsible. And in America, we're like, you can't do this. This is like, everything is bad and you're all gonna die. Fucking buzz driving is drunk driving. Well, if that case, sober driving is buzz driving, and sober driving is now drunk driving. So go fuck yourself. Everything in America, we treat adults with kid gloves. And you guys, fucking treat humans like humans. Where, a friend from Italy that I knew a long time ago was like, yeah, I had wine, with dinner with my parents when I was a kid. And that wasn't weird. And I was like, that's fucking crazy, because if I give my kids wine with dinner, the cops are at my house. And over there, it's fine. And you guys are like, do you guys want to drink and gamble and smoke at 18 because you're, legal to go fight for the country? Go right ahead. And here, we just raised the smoking age to 21. What the fuck? I don't...
Mainland Europe? Mainland Europe, that's 16. You can start drinking. You can have wine with your dinner at a ridiculously young age, as long as there's adults present and you're doing it responsibly and things like that. It's there's all sorts of rules.
You better fucking make room in that rickety ass house, because I'm coming to live with you. Goddamn, I can't do this shit anymore. Oh my god. I'm only dogging you about your house because we were joking about it the other day. So
no, it's very much. I'm in the corner at the moment, and But before the podcast with Amanda a couple of weeks ago, we did a test stream, and she looked at my camera and she was like, "We need to do something about the lighting in your house." And I was like, "I need to do something about it." I wish I could.
There's not much I can do, Amanda. I'm working with all the resources I have.
It's been 2 years of just making the wiring legal.
We're finally up to code. Don't fucking ask me for much else.
Yeah.
That's all right. So. My last house that we were in before we moved into this one was a fucking death trap. Not really, no one, the kids are fine. But, there's just shit wrong with it all the time. And finally, the last straw, somehow power was backfeeding into the dryer, and the dryer started, leaking electricity to the point where it caught a bunch of lint within the clothes dryer on fire. And so, that was a nightmare. And then the house had, aluminum siding on it. So, because I used to live in a trailer like a dirt person, but not anymore. We have this beautiful house because we fucking busted our asses. But and then the power that was seep. So what happens with the power lines is they corrode and they get old, and when that happens, power just starts seeping out because there's nothing that stops the electricity from flowing outwards. There's no more insulators. So the insulation was starting to get blown out on the conduct. And the conduct was just leaking electricity all over the place. To the point where we could put an electrical tester on the aluminum siding and get readings. God. So if you touched our house, you would get zapped. And so once that happened, we moved out and we were we can't live here anymore. And we ended up buying this house. We moved and we got the fuck out of there. We had power disconnected from that place. Now we're in the process of trying to sell it. Good luck to anyone that wants to buy that fucking hellhole. I fucking hated it. But no, I feel your pain. I'm happy we moved into this house and it's decent. But yeah. Anyways, that's my story. But yeah, I think that's just about everything, man. This has been an absolute fucking treasure. If people want to find you on the internet, where can they find you?
I'm just at Behind the Wires on Twitter. I'm on everything. I'm on Twitch and Instagram and all the rest of it. But yeah, Twitter's the main one that I'm talking on, and you'll find the other ones through that one, really. And like I said, yeah, check out the Players Lobby as well. There should be another one going up this week with lots of conversation about the Belgian FGC, which is actually a very complex FGC with loads going on that I don't think a lot of people know about.
All right, hell yeah. Well, yeah, make sure to follow Wireman and give him all of the love and all the shit that he does. Don't be a fucking rube like me and not give him the love and appreciation he deserves. If you want to follow me on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Pornhub, Facebook, all that fun stuff, at Sriracha Flash. That's where you can find me. If you want to support the show, give us a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, wherever the fuck it is. I don't know anymore. They keep changing it. But give us a review. 5 stars would be great. Or even just 1 star, I guess, if you really don't like the show. But hey, help us help you. This is a community show. If anyone that's in the chat right now wants to be on the show, AD Terminal, MQS, Olukron, Faxu, anyone, if you guys want to be on, please shoot me up. Hit me a message. Or shoot me up.
I'll get Faxu on, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I would love to have Faxu on. I would love to. Don't shoot me up. Hit me up. Yeah, alright, so that was the last thing I was going to say. Punk isn't going to Evo Japan. So if you have a bet on him, fucking sell that shit right now. Yeah. Fucking get rid of it. But yeah, if you guys want to be on the show, hit me up. I'd love to have anyone on, especially people from overseas. Season 2 of the show is starting very, very soon. Next week we have Joe Monday from the RSF podcast, RSF Radio, the online local, and A4 Andre from the A4 Arena will be on. But this has been Behind the Wires. I have been Sriracha Flash. We're actually going to go raid A4 Andre right now because this is a Twitch show. Thank you guys for hanging out. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful night, and we will see you guys later.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, cheers. This is like the awkward silence at the end where we go raid Andre, and then I quit the stream. Raid now. Go raid